You finally saved up $25,000, maybe $40,000, and you're thinking, okay, this is it. Time to buy my first rental. Then reality hits. Every decent apartment is overpriced. The returns barely make sense. And the moment you do buy something, you're dealing with tenants calling you at 2 a.m. because the boiler stopped working. And you start thinking, wait, is this really how people build wealth? Look, if that thought has ever crossed your mind, this video is going to change how you see real estate completely. My name is Joan, and I spend way too much time thinking about building wealth through unconventional and overlooked real estate assets. If you're someone who feels like the standard residential market is too saturated and is looking for a way to achieve massive ROI without the usual competition, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Shift the mindset. Here's the thing, most people are all fighting over the same asset, small residential apartments. It's like 100 people trying to buy the same 10 products. Prices go up, returns go down, stress goes up. But here's what most people don't realize. The millionaires, they're playing in completely different categories. Let's break down 7 property assets that quietly build serious wealth, and almost nobody talks about them. Look, imagine you buy a single house for $150,000. Now, instead of renting it to one family for $700 per month, you convert it into 3 smaller units. Each rents for $500. That's $1,500 per month instead of $700. Same building, same location, more than double the income. Here's the psychology. Most investors see property as fixed. Smart investors see it as flexible. Now, you might be thinking, but renovation costs, even if you spend $30,000, your ROI explodes because income, not price, is what builds wealth. Student housing. This is where it gets really interesting. Students don't think in rent. They think in price per room. A 3-bedroom apartment renting for $900 total becomes $400 per room. That's $1,200 per month. And demand? Universities create forced demand every single year. In cities with big universities, occupancy rates can hit 95% plus consistently. And here's the kicker. Parents often guarantee the rent. Lower risk, higher income. Industrial flex spaces. E-commerce warehouses. You see Amazon deliveries every day, right? That's not slowing down. Small e-commerce businesses are exploding. And they need space, not fancy offices, not apartments, just simple, flexible storage plus workspace. A 100 square meter industrial unit might rent for $600 to $1,200 per month depending on location. And unlike residential tenants, businesses stay longer. They don't complain about kitchens. They don't call you about plumbing. This is where real estate meets business demand. Mobile home parks. Now, this one sounds weird at first, but stay with me. Mobile home parks have one of the highest ROI profiles in real estate. Why? Because tenants own the home, but rent the land. So you don't deal with broken appliances, renovations, interior damage. You just manage the land. In the US, for example, some parks generate 20 to 30% returns annually. Here's what most people don't realize. Affordable housing demand is rising globally, and this model solves that problem. Self-storage units, the secret asset. Okay. This is the one almost nobody talks about. And honestly, it's probably the most powerful on this list. Self-storage. I know, it sounds boring, like painfully boring. But here's why millionaires love it. No tenants living inside, no plumbing, no emotional drama, minimal maintenance. It's literally people paying you to store boxes. Now let's talk numbers. A small storage facility with 50 units charging $80 per month. That's $4,000 per month. Operating costs, often under 30%. That's insane margins compared to residential. And demand, people accumulate stuff faster than they get rid of it. Divorce to storage, moving to storage, business inventory to storage. It's recession-resistant. This is where it gets really interesting. You're not renting space to live, you're renting convenience. And convenience is incredibly profitable. Medical office suites. Now think about this. Doctors, dentists, physiotherapists, they don't move often. Why? Because their location equals their patient flow. A well-located medical office can have tenants staying for 5 to 10 plus years. That means stable income, long leases, minimal vacancy, and they're willing to pay premium prices for the right location. This is less about real estate and more about positioning. Parking lots / land leases. Last one. And this is the simplest. Parking, or even empty land. Imagine owning a small lot in a busy area. 20 parking spaces times $80 per month equals $1,600 per month. No buildings, no repairs, almost zero maintenance. Or leasing land to food trucks, car washes, small businesses. Here's the psychology shift. Most people ignore land because it looks empty. Smart investors see it as pure cash flow potential. Bringing it all together, look, the biggest mistake people make is thinking wealth comes from owning property. No, wealth comes from owning the right type of property, the kind that maximizes income, minimizes headaches, scales easily, actionable steps. If you're serious about this, start here. 1. Pick one category from this list. 2. Research demand in your city. 3. Run simple numbers. Purchase price versus rental income. 4. Talk to 3 people already in that niche. 5. Start small, but start smart. Don't try to do everything. Focus is what builds momentum. Here's the truth. You don't need 10 apartments to become wealthy. You need 1 or 2 smart assets that most people overlook. Because while everyone else is fighting over crowded deals, you're quietly building cash flow in places nobody's even looking. And that's how real wealth is built. If this changed the way you think about real estate, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.